Okay, welcome back to the stream, y'alls. I read, so altogether I did 2 streams today, reading altogether 10 chapters. So we could just literally do that again within the same day and get it over with. I mean, I'm enjoying the book. I'm not just reading it to read. I'm actually enjoying it because this is really good, actually. Like, if I had a kid who was like 8 to 12 and I gave them this book, I have to know what's in it, right? And actually, wow, I'm amazed. Like, I learned how to make sweet tea from this book. I learned what it's like to experience the funeral in a captured world. I don't know why that matters, but like, you really do walk the lives of 1,000 people through reading. That was a quote that my English teacher or homeroom teacher in the 6th grade always said. Let's look at the quote. You walk 1,000 lives by reading. What's the quote? A reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. The man who never reads lives only once. Now, it sticks to me. I'm like, wow, that is so true. So, let's get to reading then. Shall we? We're in chapter 22, which is not far from chapter 30. We're literally there. We're literally there. And I have my water, do I? I don't. I actually don't have my water. But I am quenched, so if I need a water break, I'll go get my water. For now, let's begin. Chapter 22. The oak grove was a quickly receding lake. Daddy steered the boat around trees to the corner of County Road 2435 and Rural Route 2 where there was no Purgatory Hill and we could get up and out of the grove easily. The water was so low by the time we got to the edge of the road that we hardly needed the boat. Tidings and old Johnny Mercer were on the road with the pickup truck and the boat trailer. Is Dismay at the house? I called to Tidings as soon as I thought he could hear me. Wasn't he with you? Tidings called back. That made me cry again. Daddy patted my shoulder. He'll show up. Yo, Zoe, other no hee, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. We're reading this book called Each Little Bird That Sings. But yeah, let me know how your day is going. Old Johnny Mercer lifted me out of the boat like he was lifting me out of a grave. Glad to see you, little lady. He handed me off to Tidings, who said, You're all wet, Private. I hugged him fiercely. He hugged me back. We went home. Hello, Cursed Spooky and Cadence Gloyd and SK201 Edits. Welcome to the stream, everybody. How's it going? So, let's continue reading. If you guys want to tell me about your day, go for it. And hello, Aerialist Katie James. How's it going? And Sebastian. Welcome. Wow, a lot of people here. Nice. So, we burst through the tall front doors of Snowburgers into too much noise and too many people coming and going, all talking at once. Hi, Sebastian. How's it going? How's your day? Declaration stood by the doors to the Serenity Suite, wrapped in a blanket with Miss Phoebe Tolbert's arm around her. Her hair was sopping wet. She watched me come through the front doors in Daddy's arms. I gave her my best go away look. She buried her face in her hands. My day was good. Awesome. If your day is going good, my day is going good. Mr. Johnson carried Peach, who had his eyes closed and his head tucked under Mr. Johnson's neck. Aunt Goldie hurried toward them. Mama burst into tears when she saw us. She didn't look like a beauty queen at all. She looked worn out. She took me from Daddy and carried me, herself, to the resting room. Mr. Johnson put Peach in one bed and Mama put me in the other. Mary toddled in behind Mama. She was wearing her funeral dress and a lot of Mama's makeup. She wedged herself between the bed and the wall and took my hand in both of hers. Fum for it, she whispered. I'll be back, said Mr. Johnson. Let me get Declaration. No, I shouted. Doc McRee covered me and my muddy wet dress with blankets. Mary let go of my hand and stared. Comfort, said Mama. No! I tried to sit up, but Doc McRee held my shoulders and helped me back down. I started to cry. Mr. Johnson touched the blankets where they covered my toes at the bottom of the bed. I know she wants to see you. My stomach rolled over and I felt sick. No, it seemed to be all I could say. No, it seemed to be all I could say. Mr. Johnson walked to the door of the resting room. I'll take her home, he said to Daddy. I've called her grandmother and she's coming. Then to me, he said, you can see her when you feel better, Comfort. I cried and shook my head. Daddy said something to Mr. Johnson that I couldn't hear, and they left the room. Dismay, I sobbed as I lay on the pillow, my hair a mass of mud and silt. I held the sides of my face with my hands. My head hurt. We have to look for Dismay. We will, darling. Mama stroked my head. We will, I promise. When Peach and I were warmed up, Mama and Aunt Goldie helped us peel off our grimy wet clothes until we were in our underwear and t-shirts. They toweled us off. Peach was like a silent wet noodle the whole time. My thoughts skipped from dismay to declaration to dismay again. Everything in the world felt wrong. Hello, Nadelin Ramirez. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? We're currently reading this book. If you guys want, like, that is the book called. Yeah. So, if you guys want, like, a little recap, there's the main character called Comfort, and she has a best friend named Declaration, who she had, like, a little fight with because Declaration was being bad. And, you know, she had her little cousin with her named Peach, and they were, you know, trying to go to a place called, like, the funeral home for her great-great-aunt, Florentine. But then the rain started pouring. There was a storm, and then she lost her dog in it, and, you know, the dog helped them survive, but, like, the dog is missing now, and, like, they came to the rescue. But now the dog named Dismay is, you know, lost, and she's really worried. Cool, OMG, yeah, nice. I'm glad you liked the story so far. I mean, my recap at least. When Peach and I were warmed up, Mama and Aunt Goldie helped us peel off. Okay, I read that. Mama held my hand while Doc McRee cleaned my leg where the tree had ripped it up, and I cried. Peach's back was a mess where the tree had scraped it. He hardly moved when Doc McRee doctored it. Aunt Goldie sat on Peach's bed and stroked his forehead when Doc McRee was finished. She stared intently into Peach's face. So sad. 6'7". Yep. Welcome to the stream, Junior. Yes, how's it going? Yeah, 6'7", pretty trendy number. He's in shock, said Doc McRee. Keep him warm and still. He stuck thermometers in our mouths. Nothing's broken, he said as he finished. I'm surprised. Peach was white and silent. Dead, whispered Mary, now at Peach's bedside. No, said Mama, gathering Mary to her. Mary is her little sister, by the way. She's like a little baby. Very much alive. Let's get something warm into them, Goldie. They're still shivering. Aunt Goldie stood. I'll make cocoa while I'm waiting to have a nervous breakdown. Peach opened his enormous blue eyes and stared at Aunt Goldie. She sat down again on Peach's bed. Peach was silent, but it had plenty to say. By the way, guys, if you want to talk, you don't feel bad to interrupt me at all. Like, just let me know how your day's going, and yeah, feel free to talk whenever you want. My brother said 6'7". Oh, so Junior is your brother, right? That's cool. Nice. We have to look for Dismay now. I tried to sit up. The room got spinny and my head throbbed behind my eyes. Not so fast, said Doc McRee. To Mama, he said, make her rest, Joy. She needs warmth and rest. Mama promised to do her best. I'm going to look for my dog. It's dark soon, said Mama, handing Mary to Daddy as he came into the room with tidings. She pushed me gently back to the pillow. And you're not well enough. Yet. Folks are heading home, said Tidings. They'll help us look for Dismay tomorrow. Dismay's hurt, I told them. If he wasn't hurt, he'd be here. We can't waste time. First thing in the morning, said Daddy. Dismay can take care of himself. He's a big boy. He's a strong swimmer, too. We won't be able to see Pete Turkey out there tonight, said Aunt Goldie. I'll go with you in the morning, said Tidings. We'll all go, said Daddy. I'll go, whispered Peach. Aunt Goldie and Daddy exchanged a look. That would be fine, son, said Daddy. Tomorrow it is. We're all worn out. The important thing is that we're safe. Dismay's not safe, I cried. You don't understand. I understand, whispered Peach from his pillow. It got so quiet I could hear the crickets outside beginning their nighttime song. Tears spilled out of the corners of Peach's eyes and slid into his ears. I'll let him go, said. Aunt Goldie looked anxiously at Doc McRee and back to Peach. What happened, honey? She asked Peach in a tender voice. I let him go, Peach repeated. His voice gathered a hard edge to it, like he was a murderer and was admitting to the crime of the century. No, she just wants her dog. Yeah, I know, right? Peach is her little cousin, who's like 8 years old. He's a boy. A mockingbird sang outside the window, and then slowly, the way a great illumination begins, Peach started to cry, a real cry that sounded like it came from somewhere deep inside. Aunt Goldie surrounded Peach and his blankets with her whole body and held him while he cried. He'll be all right now, said Doc Macri. Daddy looked at me. What happened, Comfort? How could I tell them what I had done? I covered my face with my hands and sobbed. Mary started crying from her place in Daddy's arms. Doc Macri spoke in kindly doctor tones. These children have been traumatized. Bunch. They can barely tell us what happened yet. They need warm baths and clean beds and someone to stay with them through the night. Many nights, maybe. I wiped out my eyes. Mama kissed Daddy on his bearded cheek. You and Plas come to the rescue. Bunch. She kissed Tidings too, who was standing at the foot of the bed, looking at me with tears in his eyes. You too, Tidings, Mama said, making him look her in the eye. Would you help us turn off the light, sweetheart? I believe everyone has finally gone home. Daddy carried me upstairs, and Aunt Goldie came right behind him with Peach. The big old house got quiet, but my mind would not stop shouting. I know, right? It's such a sad story so far. I was bigger than Peach, stronger. If I had grabbed Dismay myself, if I had just hung on, Dismay would be here right now. I could have figured out how to save us. Maybe we'd have floated away together. But we'd be together, somewhere. Maybe we'd be upstairs right now, in my closet, me wrapped in a blanket and drinking cocoa, Dismay sitting across from me with his big dog mouth panting. So glad to be alive. So glad to be alive. Oh, the way they put it twice, it's like, really, yeah, so sad. Alright, chapter 23. Mama put me in a warm tub of bath in her big bathroom and gently washed me all over. She told me story after story of dogs that came home, even her old dog Rex, who had come home missing half an ear and 3 toenails. Whoa, my heart calmed as I listened to her. They always come home, Mama said as she shampooed my hair for the 4th time. The bathroom was steamy and felt wonderful. Dogs have a nose for home. You won't know where to look for him in the dark, Comfort, but he'll know how to stay safe. He'll be back in the morning. You wait and see. I wanted to believe her. I willed her words to be true. Poor dog, yeah. It took 3 full bathtubs and a whole bar of soap to get me clean. At first, the water stung my scrapes, especially behind my knee. But then, it felt good. There was so much mud and so many twigs in my hair. Mama said, oh, if Aunt Florentine could only see this. That made us both laugh. I thought of Aunt Florentine lying downstairs in the refrigerated room. By the way, that's her, great-great-aunt who passed away. So that's why they had that event, that they were going to. It was her funeral. I longed to tell her all about this day. I could have told her everything so easily, and she would have known what to do. I'd have told her all about it, and then I'd have written it up in my short notebooks. What history that would be. Hello, Human Nature by Michael Jackson. I love that song. Goated name you got there. Hi, hello. When I finally got out of the tub for good, it was black. Mama put band-aids all on my scrapes. She clipped my fingernails smooth where they had broken every which way while I was grabbing at bushes and trees and listening rock. She never asked me once about declaration. She didn't even mention declaration, and I sent her my best thank you thoughts. She tried to get me to eat some supper, but I wasn't hungry. Aunt Goldie was doing the same thing for Peach in another big bathroom, and we never heard a peep from him. Mama turned on my soft light lamp and put me in my bed. I was wearing my Hey Diddle Diddle pajamas. I was sipping cocoa with extra marshmallows, and I was listening to the night sounds that were beginning all around me when Peach appeared in the doorway with Aunt Goldie. His hair was perfectly combed once again, and his pajamas had creased down from the front because Aunt Goldie always ironed them. I lost my dog too, and he died. Aw, that's so sad. I'm so sorry to hear that, Natalie Ramirez. But yeah, it happens. I guess that's why I find it so sad. What book is that? Okay, so this is called Each Little Bird That Sings. And yeah. Yeah, we gotta see whether she finds the dog or not. The dog's name is Dismay. Thank you, of course. Also, let me know how your day's been, if you want. Peach and I looked at each other and all our band-aids. We had survived something terrible, an unexpected surprise flood that we had found ourselves in the middle of together. What do you say after that? Peach lifted a hand as if to wave at me, then dropped it to his side. I lifted a hand back. I'm going to bed now, Comfort, even though it is very early, said Peach. He didn't come into my room and I didn't invite him in. Me too. Good night, Comfort. Good night. I felt like so very little to say. It felt like very little to say, but there was no more words. That was all we had. Aunt Goldie kissed me gently on my forehead and said, "You are a hero, Comfort." My eyes filled with tears. No, I'm not. Aunt Goldie sat at the end of my bed. Yes, you are, she said. Peach told me what you did, and I'm going to make you a hero's breakfast. A hero's breakfast for both of you. Her eyes were calm and steady and smiling at me. I nodded. Mama slept with me in my bed. Mary slipped in too. Mama hummed Little Black Cat, my favorite lullaby, over and over, and I finally fell asleep. Then I dreamed. Declaration taunted Peach. Where they throw dirt over dead people and leave them there for the worms. She turned to sneer at me. It's stupid, Peach screamed. Not up there. Water was everywhere, swirling, freezing black, and there was Dismay paddling for his life, depending on me, asking me to help him. I woke up with my heart pounding hard in my chest. I saw Dismay's sad eyes looking into mine, and I couldn't stay where I was. I climbed my sore body out of bed without disturbing Mama or Mary, and I tiptoed downstairs with a flashlight. Tidings was sleeping in a sleeping bag by the front doors. Oh, thank you, Tidings, I whispered. I opened one of the big front doors and stared out into the night. The sky was clear. A canopy of stars twinkled above Snowburgers. Wow, she went out right after that big old shower. I'm 9. How old are you? I don't really say my age, but yeah, this book is literally like meant for ages 8 to 12. So this is something that is good for you to be listening to. But yeah, it's crazy. This is a very adventurous book, I guess. A brilliant moon hung high in the sky, a moon that could light my dog's way home. I shined the flashlight into the darkness, and I whispered for Dismay. I whistled. I took 2 steps onto the front porch, 2 steps towards the porch stairs. Maybe I could go as far as the front parking lot, and he would be there. Comfort, said a voice I knew. I whirled around. Daddy was sitting in a rocker, all by himself in the dark. I smelled his ether-like smell. I heard the tiredness in his voice. Have you seen him, Daddy? Have you seen Dismay? No, honey, I haven't seen him. What are you doing up? I had bad dreams. I can't sleep. I want to go look for Dismay now, Daddy. I brought my flashlight. It'll be morning soon, said Daddy. Why don't you wait right here right here with me until we can sleep? Then we'll go together. Daddy opened his arms to me, and I climbed into his lap like I was a baby again. He rocked, and I didn't cry anymore. I breathed in and out with Daddy's breath in the dark, waiting for my dog to come home. It's so sad I'm crying. Oh, don't cry. It's okay. I think she'll find Disney again. Otherwise, that's too sad, man. I felt the ache of every muscle in my body as I closed my eyes. I felt the swirl of the sea around me. I fell asleep hearing the swoosh of the wind through the trees, the pounding of the rain all around me, and my own voice. Let him go! And I saw, in every tiny motion, my fingers uncurled Peach's fingers. I saw myself release Dismay to the black water. Hello, April Ruiz. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Special edition, September 6th. The Aurora County News sizzles from Snapfinger by Phoebe Scoop-Tolbert. Not since Noah built the Ark have citizens of Aurora County seen such water. Galoshes and clear plastic rain bonnets have been bestsellers at Miss Maddie's Mercantile in Hallelujah all month. We have received already in the first 6 days of September 5 inches of rain. Normal rainfall for September is 2.67 inches. 6.7. Just kidding. Normal temperature is 74 degrees. Normal dinner is pot roast and potatoes, but I digress. Storms brought disaster yesterday when the saturated ground in Aurora County began to resemble a lake in low-lying places. At the Pound Arrest trailer, heaven is in full moon. Plastic pink flamingos were seen floating off towards Pascagoula. In Snapfinger, the Oak Grove became a troubled tributary of the Pearl River. Upon being interviewed for this story, I said, thank you, Nadalyn Ramirez. Old Johnny Mercer said, Noah Schmoa. This grove flooded when I was a boy of 8. I remember it well. Well, old Johnny must have been born in biblical times, as no one else remembers such waters as Snap Finger before. But the big news is about Comfort Snowburger and her cousin Peach Sugars, who were caught in the Great Water stranded, with Dismay Snowburger, funeral dog extraordinaire, whose shaggy, comforting presence is familiar to all residents of Aurora County who have attended funerals at Snowburgers, which is everyone. These intrepid youngsters were rescued late yesterday afternoon by Bunch Snowburger and Plas Johnson, yes, our esteemed publisher. The two children are shaken but recovering, on the heels of Florentine Snowburger's abridged funeral service. Interment to be rescheduled. Dismay remains missing. Sob. A search party is being organized. Stay tuned to this column for a complete write-up as events develop. And I like, thank you. Is this Lord LOTM? No, this is Each Little Bird That Sings. Yeah. I put Lord of the Rings in the title, but that's the book that I want to read next. I'm trying to finish this book so that I can go to that one. And we have 6 chapters left, so 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Actually, 7 chapters. But we'll get to that. We'll finish. I'm trying to finish in this stream. I already finished 2 chapters, 22 and 23. But yeah. How's it going, Aries Berry? Aries Berry. ZZ. Hope you're good. Okay. Chapter 24. Aunt Goldie's idea of a hero's breakfast was hot fudge sundaes. No way. That's for breakfast? That's crazy. She served them on Snowburger's wide front porch at 5 a.m. We all showed up. Even Peach, who was sneezing every few seconds. He wore a square band-aid on his left cheek. His nose was runny, and he kept a Snowburger's handkerchief in his front pocket. I have caught a cold, he told me. I'm not surprised, I said. I didn't feel so well myself. Mary patted on him and said, bless you, a lot. Daddy went upstairs to get ready for our search, and Tidings ate 2 whole Sundays while Daddy was gone. I'd awakened to Daddy snoring just as light was coming into the sky and the stars were winking out. I slipped out of Daddy's arms and checked all of Dismay's usual sleeping places just to make sure he hadn't found his way home somehow and gone to sleep, not wanting to disturb us. I tripped over Tidings as I came into the front doors, and he barely budged. Tidings would make a terrible soldier on watch. I didn't see how he would ever be a general. This book is so long. I know, right? It's crazy. But I'm a fast reader, to be honest, so it's fine. It wasn't right that Dismay wasn't in the house saying good morning to everybody and begging for a biscuit hot from the oven. Nothing felt right, but I was determined to fix that. I'd had a little sleep and felt on fire to make a plan that would fix everything. In my closet, I pulled on my lime green shorts and looked at myself in the mirror. My eyes were puffy, and my band-aids made a patchwork pattern on my legs and arms. I tried to put on my Snowburger's baseball cap, but I had a knot on the side of my head that was the size of a walnut and tender to the touch, so I left my cap on its peg. Part of me wanted to stay in my closet all day with my notebooks, pencils, and Aunt Florentine's pillows. It felt safe there and comfortable. I ached everywhere, even behind my eyes. I scrunched my toes into my black flip-flops, and I willed this day to serve me, to have a grand purpose, to bring my dog home. I'm liking. Thank you. Downstairs at our hero's breakfast, I didn't think I could eat anything, but ice cream felt good going down my throat, so I ate and ate. It's good, I told Aunt Goldie as she sprinkled walnuts on top of my whipped cream. I smiled a real smile at her. Peach didn't eat. Too stuffy, he said. Aunt Goldie wanted the whole story. Eat and tell your story, she said. You need some strength before you go out looking for Dismay. It's not full light yet. My stomach began to feel queasy around all that hot fudge as I got ready to tell the story. I could practically hear Tidings. You let him go? A soldier does not abandon his charge. But I had to tell the truth about it. Uncle Edis always said, the truth shines like a searchlight in the midst of the fog. I'm liking your live. Aw, so sweet. My head was one big foggy swamp. My heart fluttered like a fan. I shuddered and tried taking in a deep breath. Mama and Mary sat on the porch swing, and Mama creaked it back and forth. Daddy came back downstairs, buttoning a clean shirt. Start from the beginning, said Aunt Goldie. What happened first? I'll start, said Peach, and he began. I was scared, so I ran down Purgatory Hill and into the oak grove. My head throbbed, and my throat felt thick with chocolate sauce and exhaustion. I was suddenly fretful. Wait, tell them why you were scared, Peach. My mind raced, but Peach took his time answering. He was he had a cogitating look on his face. I get scared of what I don't know, he said slowly, and I didn't know death, so it scared me. Peach blew his nose, but now I know. Now I'm not so scared. Aunt Goldie dropped her ice cream spoon onto the porch planks. I stared at Peach as if he were from outer space. A Carolina wren called from the magnolia trees, and full light came into the day. This body is just a shell of who I am, Peach said, in a still small voice. Death can't touch what's inside. He looked at Aunt Goldie. Aunt Florentine isn't here. She's somewhere else. Uncle Edisto isn't the Snapfinger Cemetery. In the Snapfinger Cemetery. He's somewhere else, and it's a good place. Nobody moved. Who is Peach? Peach is the younger cousin of the main character, whose name is Comfort. So he's 8 years old, and he's a kid. He's Aunt Goldie's son. And yeah, for a little kid, he's actually so smart, because what's it called? Aunt Goldie taught him this, that when you die, you're not actually dead. The inside your soul, it's death can't touch that. Only the shell is what dies. Juices is a good story. Sorry, I like it. Juices? But yeah, thank you, Junior. Let's continue. Peach was wearing his perfectly pleated pants and a white button-down shirt. Every hair was in place. He was exactly the same Peach as always, too shiny and bony and scrawny-necked, but he wasn't the same Peach at all. I'd like to go look for Disney, he said. He looked at all of us anxiously. I let him go, and he swirled away. Then Peach cried. Aunt Goldie popped from her seat and hugged him. Daddy rubbed his face with his hands, and Mama said, "It's not your fault, Peach." "Certainly not," said Aunt Goldie. "I knew that, too. It was my turn to tell them the truth." "It's Declaration's fault," I spurted. "It's all her fault. Tell them, Peach." Everyone looked at me. Peach shook his head. "Tell what, Comfort?" asked Mama. My face felt hot. Even my eyes were hot. "Declaration," I said. She... My stomach lurched. My head felt like it would split open. The sun spilled up and over the pines near the Snapfinger Cemetery, and the porch was suddenly flooded with sunlight. It dazzled my eyes and made me dizzy. The ice cream I'd eaten was making its way up from my stomach and into my throat. Suddenly, Daddy was next to me, helping me hold my head over the porch railing. Up came my hero's breakfast, all over the azaleas. "She's burning up, Joy," said Daddy. So she threw up, I guess. Peach is the main... Oh yeah, he's the other, second main character. "She's burning up, Joy," said Daddy. Let's get her to bed," said Mama. "Dismay," I said, but the world was a blur. I was sick. Very sick. The day hadn't served me. No one knew the truth but me, and my dog was still missing. September 7, Private Snowburger. I'm issuing a regiment-wide report on the search as of 6 a.m. today, Monday. Today's search in the Oak Grove came up with the following items. Number 1, one garbage can, 3 tires, a snakeskin, part of Homer Hindman's fence. The search team consisted of the Snowburger Squadron, the coffee club at Matthew's Cafeteria, and Boy Scout Troop 685, along with various friends and neighbors. No trace of Dismay's Snowburger was found. It was a challenging engagement, wet, hot, buggy, and fraught with fear for what may lie under each bush or beside each rock. We persevered. Every soldier can be proud of the work we did today. Our medic recommends complete bed rest for you, Private. The Snowburger Squadron is doing everything possible to find Dismay. We will continue to do our best daily with the available troops. Respectfully submitted, General Tidings Snowburger. Tidings is her brother, her older brother. And I guess he talks like that because he wants to be a soldier. Or like an army guy. Thank you, of course. Hi! September 7th. Dear Comfort, I'm writing you this note to say I'm sorry for many things. I'm sorry that Dismay is missing. I'm sorry that you were trapped in the oak grove in the water with the peach. I'm sorry that I lost my temper on the road. I don't know what came over me. I'm sorry that you were so sick. And mostly, I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings. Grandmother Lucy arrived from Mobile yesterday. She says that a lady always takes responsibility for her behavior. She also says that real ladies do not bowl. She said I should write you a letter. I don't know how to talk to you right now, and I want you to forgive me. I feel like I'm 4 years old again. Isn't that strange? Grandmother Lucy says that I'm a lot like my mother. She says that's a good thing. I hope so. Your voice is so nice. Thank you. I hope you will speak to me when you see me again. I'm sorry. So sorry. Please forgive me. Say we are friends. Still your friend forever. Declaration. Hello? Hi, Michael Jackson fan. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? September 7, written at 5:45 p.m. from my sick bed. Thanks to you. Declaration. No. Your friend for never. Comfort. She's saying that Comfort is replying to her letter of her apology by saying we're not friends anymore. Friend for never. She's still mad at her, which is so valid. Because Declaration, her best friend, was the reason that they got caught up in that, life-threatening situation, and she had to lost her dog because of that. Hello, just here. Hi, Trailpokian Republic. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Hello. I'm trying to look at your profile picture. It kind of reminds me of like Lego Star Wars. Oh yeah, okay, so chapter 25. My room was dark and quiet. I had a cup with a straw in it by my bed. Mama gave me medicine that tasted like burned Brussels sprouts. Straw in it? With a straw in it? Oh, what was she drinking? Oh, okay, so that was the medicine. Okay, I slept for 3 days. While I got better and while my family searched for Dismay, the sun beamed all day, every day. The earth dried up. You would never have known that we'd had floodwater in the countryside of Snapfinger, Mississippi. Hey, I'm trying to read here. It's my cat, Yuki. He wants to read too. Alright, Yuki, have a seat. Good. That way. He literally moved the light and everything. Okay. Cat break. Alright. Yo, we get it. He just wants all the attention. Okay, Yuki, we're in the middle of something. Chapter 25. Actually, no, I already read that. Mail piled up on the table next to my bed. Every day, Tidings would come to my room and either leave me a note or, if I was awake enough to listen, tell me about the search. Mama made him go to school, but still, he searched on the way there and back. On Tuesday, he said, I even sneaked out in the pickup truck this afternoon so I could drive to Rayleigh and look. I guess Rayleigh's like a city or a street. Bro, you are so sweet, so cute. Aw, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad that you're paying attention to this story. That's good. Too many kids on YouTube be looking at brain rot instead of, audiobooks like this. It's better to read instead. And Yuki is being a little bit of a handful right now. Oh my goodness, he's moving the tripod. Yuki, can you please sit down, please? Please. He's purring so much. Technical difficulties, guys. Sorry about that. He's literally fighting the force. It's 9:24 p.m. right now for me. Okay. Let's go. Let's continue. So, did you see anything at all? Any signs? Any sign? I whispered, so impressed that Tidings would risk so much for Dismay. He shook his head. I cried. I cried a lot when I was awake. I acted Peach-like, boo-hooing down the front of my pajamas, and I didn't have much decorum. The least little remembrance made me cry. The smallest scrap of no news made me cry. People sent sympathy cards, so the mail made me cry. Then my head would hurt again. Then I would sleep some more. Great-great-aunt Florentine had a quiet, family-only graveside service on Monday, with Preacher Powell saying prayers. I couldn't go, and I cried about that too. But Daddy told me all about it. Peach didn't go either. He had taken to bed with a bad cold the day I did, so he had missed out on looking for Disney as well. He made Lost Dog posters in bed. Mama and Aunt Goldie showed them to me. I could see where Mary had helped him color. I could see where Peach's nose had dripped onto the posters while he had worked. I hadn't seen Peach for 3 days, although now and then I'd heard him. Is he or is she? Oh yeah, my cat is a he. His name is Yuki. Sometimes he'd give off a shriek and wake me out of sleep, but there was no wailing. Aunt Goldie visited me. I called Tucker Elementary School and told them that Peach would be taking an extra week off while he recovered. She said, "Do you know, I think I heard cheering in the background. There must have been a party going on." I smiled at Aunt Goldie with my eyes closed. She said, "You're going to need more than a week off, I'll wager. You take it, Comfort. Sleep now." I did. I hadn't seen this man either, of course. Each morning I would wake up and expect to feel his shaggy presence at the end of my bed, or his big tongue licking my face. "Comfort, get up, come play." His collar jingling as I scratched his back, and he squirmed with pleasure. "You said they would always come home," I said to Mama each night when she tucked me in and kissed me. "They always come home," she said, "one way or another. It's not up to us to decide how that homecoming happens." Whoa, that's deep. Because home could be, the next life too. Thank you, I'll flow you. Thank you. What does that mean? I felt shaky hearing those words. It means that no one and nothing is ever gone from us, Comfort. That's true. I didn't get it. Dismay is gone. I cried into my pillow. I need to look for him myself. "As soon as you've got your strength back," she said Mama, "you can look." On the 4th day after the flood, another Wednesday, my fever broke and I was well enough to come to the dinner table. Mama walked with me from my bedroom to the kitchen. She smelled like fresh gardenias. Every step I took felt now like I was learning to walk all over again, so I took each step carefully. Being very sick takes everything out of a person. Good smells came from the kitchen, and I realized I was hungry finally. The hungry feeling made my steps stronger. The grandfather clock struck noon, and the whistle at the Snapfinger Volunteer Fire Department finished blowing as I sat down at the table with my family. They're crying a lot. I know, right? Aunt Goldie set an enormous glass of cold milk by my plate. "It's Comfort Snowburger," she said with mock surprise and real affection in her voice. She kissed me. "I know," said Peach, smiling at me from his seat next to Aunt Goldie. He grinned like a possum and sneezed into his napkin. "Hey," I said as Daddy pulled my chair out for me and I sat down. "Comfort," said Mary, clapping her hands. I smiled at her. Mama had brushed my hair and had put one of Aunt Florentine's pretty hair combs in it. I liked how it looked. I wore new pajamas Aunt Goldie had bought for me. They had suns all over them. I instinctively reached my foot out to caress Dismay under the table, but he wasn't there. I swallowed hard and tried not to cry. Mary banged her spoon on her high chair and Tidings passed the peas. "Grace," said Mama. "I'll offer it," said Aunt Goldie. We held hands while she said, "I would personally like to offer up thanks to every living body in Aurora County, Mississippi, for having the good sense not to die in the past 4 days." "Amen," said Daddy, who had an empty workroom downstairs. We have had enough of death and near death in the Snowburger family," said Aunt Goldie. "That's affirmative," said Tidings. "Over and out." I looked at my family. I felt like I had been gone for a very long time. There was Mama, with her lipstick just right, smiling at Daddy, who was helping my plate with peas. There was Aunt Goldie, flapping out Peach's napkin into his lap, and Peach taking it from her and saying, "I can do it myself." Tidings was already finishing his first helping of meatloaf. My eyes filled with tears. I loved every person sitting at that table. My family. Every one of them. Even Peach. Peach who would not let Dismay go. Peach who would have sacrificed himself for my dog. Peach who had been so brave, braver than I would ever be. He was blowing on his meatloaf to cool it. His lips flapped as he blew, and his face turned a beet red. You're gonna blow it right off the fork, Peach, I said. Oh, Peach put his fork on the plate. I'll just wait for it to get cooler. He looked at me. Thank you, Comfort. You're welcome. Peach stared at his meatloaf as if he were watching a special cooling process take place. I said to him, I never showed you my bottle cap collection. I could feel everyone's eyes on me. No, you didn't, Peach said, staring at me. Would you like to see it after dinner? Yes, I would. Peach took a bite of mashed potatoes instead of meatloaf, chewed thoughtfully, and then swallowed. Am I invited to come to your room to see it? Yes. I just said yes, nothing else. Dinner was good, every bite of it. I could eat it. I could eat. Chewing tires me out. I went back to my bedroom. Peach followed me and waited by the door. I got my bottle cap collection from my closet. I keep it in a big boot box, and it is heavy. I'm going to D10 in June 7th. What is D10? Oh, B10. Ooh. Happy early birthday. Wait, June 7th? Wait, that already passed. Did you mean August? But if you mean next year, that's cool. So you just turned 9 last month, right? Nice. So... climbed into bed and slipped my feet under the cool covers. Peach clasped his hands together and watched me. Okay, I sighed. Come in. And he did. Mama was soon behind him. You two all right? She asked. I nodded my head. I'll check on you later then, she said. She closed the door behind her, and there we were, me and Peach together and alone again in the middle of an afternoon. I waited for Disney to trot down the hallway and find us, curious about what we were up to, but of course he didn't. I took the top off my box and motioned to Peach, who came to my bed and looked at Uncle Edisto's life in soda pop. Glory hallelujah, he whispered, and I added the RC colas, I said. I think they talk to Peach a lot. Yeah. Can I? Yes, I said. Peach tried to lift the big box to the floor, but it was so heavy, I was afraid he'd spill it. Come up on the bed, I said. You can sit at the bottom. He did. Moon glow, bubble up, yoo-hoo, whistle, lemmy lemonade. The metal caps clinked against one another as Peach sifted them through his fingers. I wondered how he would sort them. I miss Uncle Edisto, said Peach. So do I. He sure liked soda pop, said Peach. Aunt Florentine said it would rot his teeth, I said. Yes, said Peach, but it didn't. He looked at me. I miss Aunt Florentine too. Me too. Will you still will me these bottle caps, Comfort? Asked Peach. I said I would. I wasn't so sure anymore, now that we weren't shivering on a wet rock together, alone and afraid. I'm ready to take good care of them, said Peach. She was teary. I'm not dead yet, I said. Sometimes you are so irritating. Tears spilled onto Peach's cheeks. Disney is, he said. My good dinner turned over in my stomach. No, he isn't. Peach looked at me with shining eyes. I'm sorry, Comfort. I let him go. It was Declaration's fault, I said quickly. She scared you, Peach. She sent you down into the oak grove. Can't you see that? Peach shook his head. If we hadn't been down in the grove, it wouldn't have happened. Peach couldn't hear me. Dismay is dead. He shuddered. I can't hear this, I told Peach sternly. Dismay's missing, Peach. Missing. And it's not your fault. Peach pulled a Snowburger's handkerchief out of his pocket. Are you sure? He asked. He mopped at his face. I'm sure, I said. I'm completely sure. I know it. The only thing I hear is Peach. I know, right? Peach nodded his big head and then on his scrawny neck and blew his nose. A long hunky. Oh my god, how many times are you gonna do that, bro? Hello, King Haywood. Welcome back to the stream. How's it going? We don't have a mod in the chat. Does anybody want to be mod? Whoever says it first, I'll give it to them. Peach, I said, can we do this later? I'm really tired. I'm real tired. I need to take a nap. Oh, sure, Comfort. Peach slid off the bed and looked at me. I hope you feel better. And I waved him away. I am better, Peach. I just need a nap. A long nap. Me. Okay, King. What's the book? Hello, Angela Zhao. This is called Each Little Bird That Sings. Alright, King. You're a mod now. Nadine, do you want to be my 2? Okay, fine, I'll give you my 2. But you're a kid, you just turned 9. Okay. Peach left the room. And I went to my closet where I did my best thinking. I hugged Aunt Florentine's pillows to my chest and drank in the lavender smell. Oh, how I longed for everything I had lost. My eyes filled with tears and my head hurt. But I was better, and no one knew this man as well as I did. No one knew how to look for him like I did. He would come to me. I would go find my dog. Yes, thank you. Do you have TikTok? I don't. But yeah, no problem, guys. September 9. Dear Comfort, you won't answer the phone when I call, and you won't come to my door when I come over. Come to the door when I come over. I have something for you, something important. I want to bring it over. Please tell me it is okay to come see you. Your friend who misses you, Declaration. She's so annoying. She's literally the one at fault for all these problems. Poor my haven. What does that mean? September 9. Written from my almost deathbed, but I'm recovering. No thanks to you. Not dear Declaration. Don't come near my house or me. Not your friend. Not ever again. Comfort. Okay, the only thing you have is YouTube. Basically, I mean, I have Instagram, but I deleted that. That's why I'm like streaming so much today, because I'm not doom scrolling. For my brain, the only is Peach. Alright, chapter 26. Let's go. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. We have 5 more chapters left, guys. We did 2. Chapter 26. The oak grove was once again lush, green, buggy, and hot. Dinner had fortified me, but the bike ride to County Road 2435 tired me out. I considered the bumpy ride down Purgatory Hill and into the grove, where I would lean my bike against an old oak and go find my dog. Rest first, I told myself. The cemetery called me. It was right there, waiting for me to come lie on soft green grass under a dogwood tree in the shade. I walked my bike up the little rise over to Aunt Florentine's grave. We'd rest a while together. A granite bench had been placed near Uncle Edisto's grave, but I wanted to get closer than a bench would take me. At 2K subscribers, you should face reveal. If I get there, I don't know. We'll see. Great Aunt Florentine's grave was mounded with fresh dirt and flower arrangements from the funeral. Great Uncle Edisto rested next to Aunt Florentine. His grave was had green grass over it already. The 2 graves looked cozy side by side. I sat between them on Uncle Edisto's grass and read the headstones. How beautiful they were. I had visited Uncle Edisto many times in the 6 months since he had died. A hand was carved into his granite headstone. A finger pointed upward toward the blue sky. The inscription under the hand read, God's finger touched him and he slept. I love that. I'm willing your bottle cap collection to Peach, I said out loud. Uncle Edisto didn't reply, so I figured that meant the idea was alright. I felt better about it. Aunt Florentine's headstone would have had her death date added to it. I know. The only thing is Peach. No, there's no Peach anymore. Okay, actually, no. Yeah, she did say Peach here. I feel better about it. Aunt Florentine's headstone. Okay. Then it would be complete. It had granite telephone engraved in it. The inscription read, Jesus called her home. It was perfect for Aunt Florentine. The only thing better would have been a pair of binoculars with maybe Jesus saw that she was ready because she was. They're Christian, okay? I'm not Christian, but old Johnny Mercer would soon take all the wilting flowers away, but he would leave the lavender. Lavender sprayed from 2 big urns on either side of Aunt Florentine's headstone. It was tied in bunches, in bouquets, I looked hard at the urn farthest from me. In it, there was a lavender collar, a dog's collar. I scrambled to my feet and was immediately on my knees in front of the urn. There, in the middle of purple blossoms, was my dog's collar. Dismay! I snatched it and shot to my feet. Dismay! I hollered. Dismay! I looked all around me, turning and calling for my dog. Instead, I saw Mama. She was walking across the Bread of Heaven section of the cemetery toward me. wearing her apron with 1,000 pockets. Mama, I shouted, look, it's Dismay's collar. It's still full of lavender the way you fixed it the day of Aunt Florentine's funeral. Look. Mama reached for me and hugged me. I hugged her back, then quickly disentangling myself. I shook Dismay's collar in front of Mama's face. He got away, Mama. He got out of the oak grove and out of the water. He came looking for us. Where did you find that? Mama asked. It was in the lavender, I crowed. Aunt Florentine was holding on to it for me to find. And now we just have to find Dismay. He's got to be here somewhere. I was out of breath. Something tells me that someone put it there because Dismay died. I don't know though. Yo, Hayat, welcome back to the stream. Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, I'm still live. It's my 3rd live of the day. Bro, I got TikTok and I got suspended from joining the live and talking to other people, and now I can't do that until 2031. What? Can you make another account? That's crazy. I can't read. It's okay, I'll read for you. Noonie of Beeswax. And welcome to the stream. How's it going? Maybe he is, honey. Mama smoothed my hair away from my face with her hand. And maybe he isn't. What? My heartbeat pounded in my ears. Comfort, she said. What is it? My insides felt like they were going to burst. I clutched Dismay's collar in both hands and held it close to my chest. Mama had tears in her eyes. Say it, she said. Oh, I already know what's gonna happen, bro. Because she already knows. She's not excited. We sat on the granite bench, although I didn't want to sit down, and Mama knew it. She took a breath, touched her tongue to her top lip, then said, I think there's always hope, Comfort, always hope, but I also believe Dismay is gone. Gone where? I glanced at Aunt Florentine's grave. Dead, Mama said simply. The word suffocated me. No, I said simply in return. Yes, said Mama, I think so. You know that we Snowburgers don't mess around about death. We try to see it for what it really is. I tried to take a breath. But words came out tiny in a small squeak. I held the collar towards Mama to show her. His collar. No more PTA. True. Wait, what did King Haywood delete? Stop trying to pick up girls on TikToks at the desert. Huh? That's a kid, bro. He never said he picked up girls. But yeah, welcome back to the stream. How's it going? MashaAllah, tabarakallah, tabarakallah rahman. That's amazing. I never expect that because we close live early. But trust me, I'm happy to see you. Aww. Thank you. I'm happy to see you too, Hayat. No, look my account I just can't join nobody live. Oh, okay. That's sad. At least you can join my live. I'm sure Tidings put it in there, said Mama in an even voice. Where did he find it? I couldn't bear to hear the answer. I pulled my shoulders around my ears. He didn't find it, said Mama. Declaration did. A tingling sensation zinged across my shoulders and up my neck. Declaration? She found it. She was looking for Dismay with her daddy, and she found the collar near. Mama's voice faltered just a little. Then she gathered it together again. In a drainage ditch near Lake Talihoma. A ditch? A ditch? What is a ditch? I couldn't think. Comfort, the ditch feeds into the lake. No, please, Mama. Sweetheart. Mama's no-nonsense voice was so tender it made me cry. But I would not let her touch me. I kept Dismay's collar at my chest so Mama couldn't put her arms around me. Are you sure? I whispered. Completely sure, answered Mama, looking deep into my eyes. I looked away. I can't think like that, I said in that same tiny voice. I shook my head and looked at Dismay's collar. No, look at my account. Yes, you can, said Mama. She was inches away from me. We searched every bit of the grove of Snapfinger, of the surrounding area. Dismay is gone, Comfort. You will look for him too, because you'll need to. That'll be good. You'll always look for Dismay in some way. But that water was high and full of debris, full of danger, and Dismay was strong, but not strong enough. He was swept away in that flood, Comfort, away from us, gone. I thought of Dismay's eyes looking at me, asking me for help. I saw Peach holding on and going under the water. I saw myself prying Peach's fingers away from Dismay's collar. My heart cracked open. I pulled Dismay's collar close to my belly and held myself as I sobbed. You said he'd come home. You said they always come home. And they do, Mama said. Those we love live in our hearts forever. We always have them. She touched my heart, right here, always. That's not good enough, I said. That's nothing. That is everything, said Mama. No, it's not, I said. Dismay can't be gone. He can't. If he's gone, that means I killed him. Mama pulled me to her and I sobbed into her shoulder. Mama, I killed him. Shh, said Mama. her hand on the back of my head. You didn't know such thing. I did. You don't know. Shh. You didn't kill your dog, Comfort. I pushed myself away from her and wiped out my eyes. I did, Mom. I let him go. I let him go, not Peach. See, it's Peach's back. MashaAllah, tabarakallah, Joya. You still reading the story. I know, right? Have you ever had TikTok before? I did. I don't use it, though. It's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, too, Nadalyn. But if you have to go, you can. It's fine. I mean, I don't know why you're saying nice to meet you right now. Maybe because you're, like, tired of hearing Peach, but... Yeah, so... We're in chapter 27 now, or 26? Oh, we're in chapter 26 at the moment. So, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. No more Peach, please. Bro, I just understand you love reading. Thank you, yeah, I do. Peach doesn't remember. He almost drowned trying to hold on to this man. He would never have let him go, but I did. I told Peach to let go. I told him to. Mama held my face in her hands. Is that what's eating at your heart? I nodded my head and sobbed. I pried his fingers off Dismay's collar while we were in the water. I did it. I did it. Comfort. It's a miracle you and Peach survived at all in the water. A miracle. I pulled my hands over my face, Dismay's collar pressing on into my nose. I could still smell his scent in the collar. Mama pulled at my hands, but I wouldn't let her have them. So, she just held them against my face. Comfort, you saved your cousin's life. You did the absolute best thing you could have done, honey. The right thing. What if Peach had drowned? What if you had drowned? MashaAllah, Dre, when you read the book, you feel me? Like, I want to read the book also. Feel me? I see. Yeah, good. Everybody should read. Dismay drowned, I said. Mama pulled me to her and I wailed. And Peach is horrible, with his stupid beard and his stupid voice and his stupid comfort. I've come to see you. Oh, Mama, I don't want Peach. I know, she said, hugging me. There was a tiny silence, and then I started to laugh. Then I had said what I had said was so true and so ridiculous at the same time. I laughed right through my tears. Mama did too. He ruins everything, I said, crying again and sitting up to catch my breath. I know, Mama said. He's a mess. I nodded. And you saved him. You chose him over your dog, whom you adore. I nodded. But you know what you did? Mama asked. I looked at her through my tears and tried to pay attention. You served, said Mama quietly. You did what needed to be done. That's what it means, Comfort. You did the right thing, even when somewhere deep inside you, you didn't want to. Because you knew, somewhere even deeper, that it was the right thing to do. And by doing the right thing, you saved yourself as well. If you had grabbed onto Dismay, you would have been washed into the floodwater with him. You would be gone now, too. Mama's face looked stricken. I don't think I could have survived that. She squared her shoulders. And you would have helped Peach. And who would have helped Peach? You have good instincts, Comfort, Snowburger. Then Mama smiled a real smile at me. I'm so proud to know you. I shuddered, sniffed, and wiped out my nose. Mama dabbed at my face with the Snowburger's handkerchief. Uncle Edisto always said, it takes courage to look life in the eyes and say yes to. What did he call it? The messy glory, I said. Yes, that's it. I need to do something. I need to do something for Dismay. Mama kissed the top of my head. My hair stuck out all over the place, but Mama didn't try to smooth it down. You and Peach will figure out what to do, said Mama. You might ask Tidings as well. He misses Dismay too. He hasn't mowed the grass all week. He just sits on the mower and thinks. I love your watch time. Where did you buy this from? Amazon or maybe Noon app? So, it was all white before. I just covered it with stickers because I like how it looks like that. And Yuki bit this, so it ripped. But yeah, the clock itself is from Temu. I don't know if they have that anymore. But yeah. I sniffed a great sniff and Mama said, do you want to tell me what happened between you and Declaration? My brother finished all my birak. What is that? Sounds like a food or something. Okay, I think I'll stop at chapter 27. And then, yeah, I'll go drink some water, maybe watch the second Hobbit movie. Yuki's been bad. I shook my head. Not yet. She brought the collar to the house last night, said Mama. She did? Mama nodded. Since you won't see her, she gave it to Tidings. She did? I wiped on my eyes. Why did Tidings put this man's collar here on Aunt Florentine's flowers? I sniffed another long sniff. He said that recovering soldiers should not be disturbed by evidence they aren't ready to assimilate. Mama smiled, but I didn't. He was upset too, so he came to the cemetery. Probably he thought it was best to leave the collar with Aunt Florentine until we were better. Dismay is in good company here, don't you think? What is your name? My name is Jueria, so that's my YouTube channel name. 1 second, let me kick out my cat. He's literally so annoying. He's the peach. He's the peach in my world. Oh my days. Okay. I looked around me at the community of dead people that Uncle Aliash, Uncle Edisto, and then Daddy had buried for so many years. The headstones formed a family. I loved their solid, sturdy feel. I pictured Tidings leaving Dismay's collar in such a soothing place, a place where Dismay might have chosen to come if he had been able. I sent a thank you thought to Tidings, who was a good brother. I would tell him so. Special to the Aurora Cantonese, the life and times of Dismay Snowburger. A life noticed by Comfort Snowburger, explorer, recipe tester, and life reporter. Dismay Snowburger, funeral dog extraordinaire, has departed our fair town for a new home after giving hope and love to hundreds of folks all over Aurora County during all the years he kept vigil at family funerals. Here are the facts. Dismay came to Snowburger 7 years ago on this reporter's 3rd birthday. Right in the middle of the ice cream and cake, there was a scratching and a barking at the downstairs kitchen door. When Tidings Snowburger, aged 7 at the time, opened the door, a shaggy black bundle ran inside with his eyes bright and his tail wagging, as if to say, "This is an opinion. I'm home." It was Dismay. He danced inside with his eyes bright and shiny and his tail wagging, so happy to see us. It is still Snowburger, wise in all things mysterious, said, "He's a gift to us. Let's keep him. He'll come for us in our dismay." The book gets sad then happy. No, sad. I know, right? Our dismay, said Florentine Snowburger, wise in all things lavender. "Come here, Dismay." She tied a piece of string around Dismay's neck and wove some long stems of lavender around and through it. Dismay Snowburger was dirty and hungry. Tidings Snowburger, wise in all things edible and organizable, gave Dismay a piece of Phoebe Tolbert's Lane cake, which he enjoyed thoroughly. Comfort Snowburger, wise in putting 2 and 2 together, said, "Dismay is my birthday present." And Joy Snowburger, wise in all things family, sighed and said, "Yes, I believe he is." Bunch Snowburger, wise in most things funereal, said, "We cannot have a dog at funerals, and we've nowhere to put him this afternoon." But Dismay Snowburger, wise in all ways of the heart, made himself useful. Dismay Snowburger knew how to serve. He knew what to do at a funeral, attend to the living, honor the dead, and that is what he did. Always silent, always reverent, always present. He was a noble dog. Life will not be the same with Dismay Snowburger gone to a new home. This report likes to think of him trotting to the back door of another funeral home. This is a hope, not an opinion. And going to work again, doing what he does best, loving everyone and everything. MashaAllah, tabarakallah rahman. Wow. Assalamu alaikum. Yo, tofu. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to the stream. How's it going? So, we really couple pages left until the end of the stream, but yeah. What is your cat's name? It says Yuki. And this one's name is Junie. I don't know if y'all can see her. She looks so scary right now, but she's cute, I promise. I mean, if you think so. Okay, now she looks extra scary. She's playing with her toy. Because nobody plays with her. We're always reading this. Oh, it's me. There will be a live service for Dismay Snowburger at noon on Saturday, September 12 at Snowburgers, of course. Bring a cover dish and the recipe and your memories. Although I did not mention life services in my article, top 10 tips for first-rate female behavior, the same rules apply. Please, everyone, you know who you are. Behave. Peach. You still have her? Yeah, so she's leaving this Saturday. And it's Tuesday now, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 4 days, she'll be gone. Inshallah. Friday morning, September 11th. Dear Comfort, I read Disney's life notice in the paper. Daddy is bringing you copies this morning, so I'm sending this note over with him before I go off to school. He finally made the paper. I'm sorry that it happened with such sad news. Daddy says the whole county will likely show up for Disney's life service. I wish you would talk to me when I call. I want to come to Disney's life service. Grandmother Lucy says that decorum dictates I stay home unless you tell me it is all right to come. Please, say that it is all right with you that I come. Grandmother Lucy also said that dogs don't have memorial services. I told her that this one does. Your sad friend, Declaration. Hello, very cute cat. If my mom caught me on YouTube, she would bash my head on my keyboard. Why? But yeah, welcome back to the stream. Welcome to the stream, very cool cat. How's it going? And are you streaming too much? You're always on live for the past 2 to 3 days. There's no limit, actually. I could stream forever and ever. No more Peach, please. No more Peach. September 11th, written from my closet where I do my best thinking. Declaration, do not come. Oh, wow. Yeah, honestly, she can't make it up. Anyways, since y'all are saying I stream too much, I'm gonna end it here. And, yeah, take care, everybody. I'll be on my merry way. I don't know where. Okay, bye guys. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Take care.